Hello. Hi. Happy end of the month. Thank God for bringing us here. I'm so happy. I'm so happy that God has kept every one of us alive. Indeed, He is faithful. Okay, we are having a bit of technical issues. Just give us a few minutes and we'll be back up. Okay, so we must have these discussions today. These discussions must hold. I'm all ready and I hope you are too. So, how has your week been? How has your work been? Awesome, I believe. I'll just go straight to, okay, Ayomide Samuel, I can see you. Hello, ma'am. Thank you for always being here. So let's talk about this whole issue of, risky behavior and what is happening in the teens world. In the past 7 days, I have received questions and, people have reached out to me, emails. I even got a call from someone outside Nigeria late in the middle of the night to say, okay, my daughter just comes up with this idea about doing this. My son is suddenly showing interest in this. So I like to call it what to do if your child, your teenager, is showing interest or is already involved in risky behavior. I put it up on one of my social media platforms. I said, what would you do? And some people were saying, oh, God forbid, it's not going to happen. But I like to also say that God forbid, I reject and it's not my portion. It's not a plan. It's not a strategy. It's not reality. It doesn't make you more spiritual. It doesn't make you more prepared than others. What makes you really prepared, really intentional, really ready for what I want to call reality, what I want to call a must happen is your preparedness. So I know some people are hearing risky behavior. Okay, it's not really something that they have heard before. Let me tell you what is risky behavior. And risky behavior is something that happens a lot in teenagers. Okay, so let's go. What is a risky behavior? Or risky behaviors, a risky behavior rather is described or defined as either a socially unacceptable behavior with a potential, or rather a potentially negative outcome, in which, if precautions are not well taken, can lead a teen or whoever it is involved in it into great self-harm and trouble. Please underline the word self-harm. So our teenagers feel that when they get involved in these things, that they are not the ones that will face the consequence. That's not true. Risky behavior, you are the one behaving it. You are the one that will face the consequences. Sorry about that. So now, examples. Okay, there are so many, but examples of risky behaviors, if you just need to think of it off by heart, are blink drinking, okay, clubbing, drug use, drinking and speed driving, premarital sex, tattooing, risk traveling, and the list is endless. So let me explain a few of these things, what it means. Hello, ma'am. Thank you so much for joining me. So let me just explain, because I know someone's like, what is blink drinking? Blink drinking. What is risk traveling? Okay. Blink drinking is when teenagers, youths gather together and they want to take in so much alcohol within a very short space of time. So okay, they want to do all those competitions, who to finish the largest quantity and all that. And they are doing it not like adults that can spend 6 hours at the bar. The teenagers usually won't have that much time. So they do it at a very short time. Okay. So they are putting in so much alcohol into their system at a short time. That's blink drinking. When they are teenage, you want to just try it. Then there's clubbing, where they go clubbing all night, dancing, partying. It's really risky because a lot can happen by just being there, even if you're not doing anything. Because some of them will like, I'm not going to do anything when I get there. I'm not going to, but you're in an environment that puts you at risk. Hello, Lizzie. Thank you so much. Thank you, ma'am. Then we have risk traveling. So 2 years ago, I met this teenager they brought to me, to counsel. This boy and his friends put together money in millions and planned a trip from Abuja, Nigeria to Cotonou, a 2-week trip. Their parents didn't know where they were. They just planned, got the money, got a charter car, went to Lagos. From Lagos, they got another one, took off to Cotonou, stayed there, hung out. They had their plans all set up, blew the millions, and came back after 2 weeks. Teenagers can just move from Abuja, enter Lagos, from Lagos to Port Harcourt. We call it risk driving. Then we have tattooing. So all these things, when they get involved in it, brings them self-harm. Now, why do they? I know someone is like, there's so much risk. So why are they even thinking of it in the first instance? Reason is simple. They are teenagers. They're adolescents, and because they're in that age, puberty is happening. So puberty is doing a lot to them. Puberty is releasing, these hormones inside them in large quantities, and the hormones is giving them energy. So you see them. In fact, I think everyone should be worried if your teenager is calm, this kind of an introvert. It's just being the good girl, just being the good boy, and you're not checking to know what he or she is using with his energy. I think you're also part of the problem, because you should be checking. You should know something could be going wrong. He could just be hiding his desires. He's not doing it, and he's also not asking. He's not worried about, he's not interested and all that. Yeah, some of them can pass for it, but a lot of them will just want to, even if they don't do it, they'll just want to express that excitement about doing it. It's puberty. It's nothing strange. Yeah, it's nothing strange. The fact that we didn't do it, or some of us didn't do it, doesn't mean that our children will not want to do it. So when they are going through puberty as adolescents, they are energetic and they are risk takers. Trust me. Have you ever told your teenager, don't do this, and that's when they're like, okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to try it. Why is mom saying I should not? Why the mom say I should not drink alcohol? What is in this alcohol? So it's like, I'm going to use the word again, demonizing these things. Don't touch. There was a time I said I was going to release the 10 commandments of my family. I said I'm going to release the 10 commandments. The 10 commandments of my home. Thou shalt not. Thou shalt not. And the Holy Spirit just didn't give me the go ahead to do it. And several years later, I started understanding why. And that is why even God, when I was doing that thing, the Holy Spirit was telling me, even Jesus came to abort the law. This same 10 commandments you're writing, Jesus aborted it and he just gave us 2, and he didn't even stamp it on us. Why do you want to do a 10 commandments for your children? And I clearly understand it now. Once you tell them, thou shalt not, because that's how I wrote it, thou shalt not, they say, okay, I shall. Bring it on, mom. Bring it on, dad. Oh, you're a pastor? Oh, you're a leader? Oh, you're a coach? Whose business? That's not my business. I'm going to do it. This is my life. Our children will tell us that, Mom, please excuse me. I know what I'm doing. I'm grown up. And you'll be wondering, this person that is grown up, how grown up is he or she? Okay, so it comes naturally to them. The second reason is that their brain is still under construction. So I have this diagram that I use to always remind me that your teenager's brain, the prefrontal cortex, is still under construction. The part that is grown up is the one at the back, which is responsible for emotions, feelings. That's why you see them at this point. They want to date, they want to go into relationship, they want to have sex, they want to do all those emotional thingy. That part of their brain is already involved. So don't even go and start insulting them to say, if it's to do boyfriend and girlfriend, you know how to do it. If it's to party, you know how to do it. Oh yeah, they know how to do it because the brain, the part of the brain that regulates that is already constructed. But the part that is left for critical thinking is not yet done and won't be set until they are in their early 20s. So don't even go and act like you're an ignorant person. You're not saying, why can't you? Can't you even just think about this? And they can't. Okay, so there are a few exceptions. When you expose your children to training and to, when you connect with them and you're able to teach them, they can actually really begin to understand some of these things. But generally, this is the average teen. They want to do this, they want to do risky behaviors because they are risk takers. So you say, come home before 8, and they say, no, why? Darkness is cool. Man, we want to just hang out when it's late. So they want to take that risk. Another reason is they want to prove a point to their friends. Okay, they want to please others, they want to stay in the group, stay in the gang and all that. Finally, they just want to satisfy their curiosity. So they're just wondering, this our house is so boring, like the teenagers, one of my pastors, his wife was sharing with me about what her children said. Her children came to her and said, Mommy, so I feel like, we're just a bored family, no fun. We don't go out, we don't do anything. We're just always indoors, being good children, just being. And thank God for a smart mom. She said, okay, let's have this discussion. What do you understand by fun? And then she was able to tap into their mind, and then they had that discussion, and then they cleared a lot of gray areas. So when your child comes to you with those, what I call the bumpy question, that is not the time to go paranoid. Who are these mothers? Who are these fathers that are going paranoid because your child is saying, I want to take cigarettes? Because a child is saying, your teenager, not even a child, a teenager is saying, I want to go to a club. Oh, I want to drink. I want to just get drunk. And you just go as you start. I've heard all sorts of things. Did we read the post on social media where a child asked his mom 5 years ago that I want to just know how cigarette tastes. I just want to know how cigarette tastes. And the mother beat the earth out of him. 5 years later, as at 2020, is now an addict. So You want to consider a lot of these things. As a matter of fact, I usually congratulate any mom or dad who says that my child said this, asked me this bumpy question. Yeah? I mean, the question is like a bomb. I want to congratulate you because it shows to me that you have a relationship, a rapport with your child, and they can ask you anything. You're not even afraid to look you up in the face and say, look, I want a boyfriend. I want a girlfriend. I just want to hold. So they're just expressing it to you. You should go like, wow, you should even do things that will make them keep speaking so that you can know where it is coming from. Now, so I asked this question: what should you do? Okay, rather, how should you prepare yourself for that question? Because it might come. Or how should you prepare yourself for for that day when you will hear that your child has done this, or when you will catch your child doing it? How should you prepare? You should prepare. Yeah, so if you fail to prepare, then you are preparing to be surprised, to be dealt with, to have a heart attack, or to just really get embarrassed and all that. So what to do is to change your mindset. I had to do this. I had to tell myself that, look, this is not about you, Etima. This is not about you. It's about your child. This is not about your status. This is not about your personality. So I'm not the type that I love to have fun. Okay, but I'm not the type that I've never been to a club. Did I wish I ever did? Yes. I actually wish I did. That's one thing that I've even is in my bucket list. I would like to even one day, this kind of just let me even see what is in this club. So I'm not that type, but I've prepared myself that supposing my daughter says she wants to go there, supposing my son comes and says, I've heard so much of me, can I just go there? I've already prepared myself on what to do. I have a friend of mine, very close friend, my inner circle, that has already volunteered to be the one to take them, that just in case, as in we're that prepared, just in case. I'll be the one. You're too holy. I said yes. I said yes. He said, I'll just take them there so that they just know that, okay, there's nothing in this thing. Some of these things, they're just thinking that you're just trying to stop them from living a pleasurable, enjoyable life, even though they are born again. So you need to just prepare your mind. Tell yourself it's not about you. If they come and ask that question, you have not failed as a parent. No, you have not. Don't feel it. Somebody said, I'll feel embarrassed. Another person said, I'll feel like a failure. How is it about you? Do you know that it's also not even about whether you have taught them or not taught them? Some of us are like, but I've taught you, I've told you this, I even sent you to a mentoring academy. You can't tell me you don't know the consequences of these things. Why would you still do this? And you just go, calm down. Calm down. You have a team. I think you guys have been advised. Calm down like this. Just like that. Like that. You have a team. Just calm down. That is my new motto. When my teenagers want to just get me, I'm just like, calm down. Take a deep breath. You have a team. Okay, so now you're prepared in your mind. It's a thing of the mind. So don't even tell me that because you're thinking about it, it would happen. No, you're not thinking about it, expecting it. You're just thinking about it, preparing for what to do if it happens. If it happens. Okay? If it happens, what are you going to do? Yes, you calm down, wear your humility gown. I like that. That's what I always say. Don't just come with that your parenting ego. You calm down and you start bringing out your strategy, which are the things I'm going to say here. So this is what you should really take note of. After you're calm, okay, you've disassociated yourself. Oof, my network. Can you hear me? Hello? 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 Okay. Sorry. Okay. Okay. Oh, sorry about that. I wasn't, it was like I was frozen. Okay. So after you have reminded yourself that the first thing I need to do, even before it happens, it may never happen. Please don't say Atetima has come with evil prophecies. I have not. I just prefer to be forewarned, just like Jesus told us. He says, in this world, you will have troubles. I take this as one of the troubles Jesus was talking about, seriously speaking, one of the parenting troubles. It might not happen. Oh, yeah, so thank God. But if it does, what do I do? Number one, stay calm. I've said it already. Being upset. So when what happens, okay, what I'm saying is, if your child just comes with that question, or you just realize, boom, my child has been smoking, my child has been on drugs for weeks, for months, and I'm just knowing, calm down and know that these are one of the troubles that are in this life. So your child has begun to do this. It is not as bad as it looks. So you need to, the reason why you're calming down is so that you can reassure your child. Someone shared with us at the Parents Penthouse, which by the way is a platform for the mothers of the teenagers at the academy, at the Responsible Teens Academy. We have a penthouse where we just go and chill and partner with each other. It's a support group to help moms, okay, bring up their preteens and their teenagers, to help them grow into responsible adulthood. So one of us shared how her son's best friend's dad called her to say, I'm done with this boy. This boy, can you imagine? We caught our son watching pornography. He has been watching pornography, which by the way is also a very risky behavior. I forgot to mention pornography and masturbation. We've caught him. He's been, pornographing and all that. And then my friend was like, oh, so sorry about that. So what happened? How did you handle it? And guess what? So his wife took the tablet, smashed it, broke the TV, broke everywhere, broke, scattered, fired, burnt down, just because you found out when you should be crying. Crying and looking for a solution, crying with him. You're breaking all those things, modeling violence to him because you found out that he's doing pornography, which by the way, if we check, is a parent's fault, because you are the one that have exposed him. Who has the gadget? Who gave him the gadget? Who gave him the access? Those are the questions that we should be asking. So the first thing that we should do is not, please, to scream or to make the child feel like, oh, you have just been condemned to hell. No, you need to reassure already your child. First of all, remember why we said they do it. Some of them are just curious. Some of them are just ignorant. Share ignorance. Some of them just wanted to please their friends. Some of them, were negatively influenced. The environment that they found themselves caused them to do to get involved in that risky behavior. So like the boy who did the risky traveling, he's in these highbrow schools, so you have all kind of children there. You have the La Creme's children, and those ones don't even think. They have the money, and so they can just do anything. And then your child is in the midst of these people, and then he doesn't even know what to do. He just falls in for it. And then the first thing you do is lock him up. You take him to SARS, break the TV. No, tell your child that, okay, what you have just done is an action that can lead you to self-harm. I need to help you. You need to Let him know that you are with him or you're with her on this. Next is, let them know that for those that, so the first one was for those that are already involved. The second, this next point is for those that are just expressing interest. Remember, we are two sets of people we're talking about, interest and involvement. If they are just showing interest, let them know that, okay, it's not a sin, first of all, for you to feel this way. It's not a sin. You're human. You're on earth. And once you're on earth, you are human. You're flesh and blood. You would have this desire sometimes. Confess it, dear parents. Are there not times that you just feel like doing something really crazy? Are there not such times? There are. You just feel like... I remember the first time when I was... Okay, not the first time. One of the times I was going to travel abroad with my husband. I just felt like, I was going to leave everybody that knows me. I'm going to leave my pastor. I'm going to just leave my friends. I'm going to leave my mentees. I'm just free. I mean, I can just go there now, club, do whatever it is I want. Nobody to look at you. This kind of, Atetim, are you? Mom, are you? Nobody. So sometimes you just have those desires. But of course, the values in me, the maturity in me did not even allow me. So even when I went, I couldn't even do the things that my imaginations, went round about. So let them know that, okay, this is a case of look but don't touch, or that you have thought about it does not mean you have done it. Don't make your children feel like, oh, you've committed a sin. You thought about that. You thought about that. Hey, this boy, you are very immoral. You are very immoral. This girl, your own is too much. You are wild. Then you start putting those things on them. You start naming them. You start trying to shame them. Some of us even go ahead to punish. I say, is this what you're thinking? Okay, I seize your phone, I seize your this, I seize. No, that's not the time for punishment. Even if you have caught them, even if they're already involved, that is not a time to just start cutting out, start setting boundaries immediately. You just found out, then that very day, they say, give me your phone, bam, disconnect, give me your this, I block you off, I cut you off. You need to go through the process before you get there. Even though your child will just interpret it as hatred. So my mom caught me, drinking with my friends, and then she has, what's that word now? She has banned me. She has disconnected me from my friends. She has, taken up the Wi-Fi. She has, you just hit, you just go hot and hard on them. That is not the time. Just let them know that we are going to sort out this thing. Remember that this is the time. When this has happened, this is the time that you need to start having what I call the risky behavior conversation. You need to start telling them that this thing you have done is called a risky behavior. And if you continue this way, these are the consequences. It's not about me, son. It's not about me, dear. If you go to drink at night with your friends, this and this might happen. You might get kidnapped. They are ritualists. And please, don't even encourage them to say, God forbid. That's why parents should not even say this, God forbid. I reject. Because now, children, church, I reject it. I reject it. God forbid. Mommy is not my portion. Let them know that these things are happening to believers as well. So it can happen to you if you put yourself in that position. It happened to the prodigal son. He put himself in the way of destruction because he left the covering. So you say, son, daughter, it's not about me, it's about you. You step out of your covering, you step out of where you ought to be. These are the things that can happen to you. Even when you escape some of them, it's like living a life of complications. You keep having issues. You will not just be happy with yourself. That peace will be gone. The next point I want us to take note of is, after that initial time, please plan your talk. So have a self-reflective moment and ask yourself that, okay, what is missing in this whole thing? Am I missing out? Okay, you would have found out from your child what initiated either the thought or the action? What made you think that, oh, you want to do a tattoo? What? Is it that she doesn't know is she ignorant? Is it that she doesn't know the consequences of doing a tattoo? Is it that she doesn't know it's not allowed, God doesn't permit us to do it? Is it that it's because her friends are all doing it? Is it that she's just being curious? Same thing with drinking, with traveling, drugs. Some children don't even know the consequences of drugs. They just feel it's a trend. Tramadol, this, that. They just, and things are known to thrive on trends. How about that? Things are known to thrive on trends. They just like, it's trendy, let's do. It's trendy, let's go. It's trendy, let's get involved. Let's dive in. So you need to have that discussion. Find out, how am I, what's he or she thinking? Is this her personality? Is this his personality? Because they're going to leave you. If it's their personality, it means that when they are not with you, if they are not fully convinced and convicted, now this is not even being convinced, they are not convicted about this thing, that if they don't fully understand it, they can go out there and carry on with it. So understand, for one, I've understood my 3 children. My first daughter is so not like me. She's the bubbly type, the sassy type, she likes to have fun. So I've already prepared my mind that she would not just not want to try out. She want to at least she want to. The best I can, or the best I owe is even allow her to even think it. So you want to try your children. There's some of them that would not. Okay, naturally, it will just come to them. It's their personality. So in planning your talk, know the angle you come from. Plan your talk. In planning your talk, make sure you don't come with the judgmental tone. I'm disappointed in you. The Bible says that if I train you up in a way that you should go, you will not depart. I don't understand why you're departing. This was not the plan. You're going to displease God. Oh, God is upset. You're bringing shame to this family. No, that's not how your talk should go. That's why you should plan your talk, because you can't get emotional. Yeah. You can get very emotional because these things can really be heartbreaking. Let me be sincere. So the first time my daughter asked me a bumpy question, my heart fell. I was just like, oh, what is this? I didn't show it. So when you're calming down, remember, don't express shock. Don't express anger. Don't express anxiety. Don't start panicking, calling, hey, come, my mom, my dad, my sister. Can you imagine this girl call your accountability partner, prayer partner, you people, everybody? When you make such a fuss about it during the talk, the child will just like, I'm just thinking, I'm only even just thinking. Supposing I do this thing, this one is going to go gagas. And for your information, teenagers don't mind it if you're going gagas. Yeah. They don't mind it if you're having a panic attack. In their mind, they already feel that, oh, mom, you just like panicking. You just like expressing yourself. I've told you there's nothing there. So don't also show them that is how you feel. I've received such calls, and I really want to, celebrate those women that, they transfer their panic to me. They just call, can you imagine what this girl did? And then we talk about it, and then we laugh, and then they feel better. You need to have people you can have those discussions with, so that you can be calm to have your talk. So make sure you plan your talk. What are the things that must be? What are the content of your speech? Some parents are just talking, they're just whining, they're just complaining. They're not hitting the nail on the head. Okay, so it's important. Plan it. If you need to write it, do some research. Just today, I heard a new research that was done in a school in Canada. It says that the pornography industry is going to increase its income, its profits, by over 30% in the next 5 years. It's becoming is overtaking Hollywood, Nollywood, is overtaking all those other, the entertainment industry. The pornography industry is overtaking these other industries that have been long there before them. So these are the contents that should be there. Tell them the risks. Plan all those things. Let it be in your talk. If you need to get a diagram, I've been planning a media talk for my family for like 2 weeks now. I'm still not ready. I'm still not ready because I still need diagram. Is that serious? I'm going to share a picture with us when I'm doing the talk. Is it going to be a presentation? I'm not joking. I'm going to do the presentation slides, present it to them so that they understand what it is that they want to get involved in if they choose to. So the next is, I've said it before, re-emphasize in your talk about what triggered the action or the thoughts, what triggered it. Try to find out, is your child going through what's it called, peer pressure? They could be pressuring them silently, quietly in one of their circles without you knowing. It could be the environment. So there was a time I had to change my children's school. Yeah, because that school was marketing immorality, was marketing violence to my children. I had to change it. So some of the risky behaviors your children are getting involved in could be where they live. And this is not to even judge those that are, outside Nigeria. There are some nations that you would be in. You will not be surprised when your teenagers ask for some things. Please, let's be sincere. Can we just be sincere? You're living in some countries, they do all this, piercing. They pierce their tongue, pierce their breast, pierce every part of their body. It's what the environment is showing. So you have more work. You can't now come and now get annoyed with these children. Is this what I taught you? Is this how I taught you? Is this what the word of God says? You're screaming, you're shouting. You're breaking something. Meanwhile, you put them in those, they didn't move to these nations themselves. You put them there. So you should be able to sell your point, sell your value. I'm coming to that point. Be able to sell your value to them. So find out, is it ignorance again? Is it that they didn't know? They just feel that it's okay when seriously, you guys don't know that. Some teenagers don't know that having sex before marriage is bad. I'm not joking. They don't know. Someone comes and says, how can they say they don't know? We have been saying it, we have been saying the message is going on everywhere, it's everywhere on social media, it's the church. They don't know, they have not heard, they have not fully grasped. One of my mentors will say, if your child is doing the same thing you're asking not to do, could it be that he has not yet learned? There's a difference between teaching and learning. You are teaching, is your child learning? Has your child understood? Probably not. Probably not. Your child, we do a lot of discussions. We have a lot of discussions on different areas. To be sincere, have you really done have you really had that discussion on the area your child is seeking a risky behavior, seeking your permission to go do a risky behavior? Have you really, let's be sincere, have you really, really had? For me, I know the areas I've not really talked deeply, like, intensely with my children about. We all know. So don't even come, claiming, ignorance or claiming a right, like I've taught him, I've told him. Maybe you have not even understood. Research also has it that teenagers forget a lot. Yeah. So the lessons you're teaching, but of course, they won't forget the things that bring them joy and pleasure. But they'll forget, instructions sometimes. They'll forget the consequences, the pain they felt when they did something, before. So you need to constantly. That's why the Bible said concerning Abraham, God said, I know him. He will teach his children. A teacher is a teacher for life. They keep teaching till they get to heaven where they get their reward. They keep teaching. So you don't just teach once and stop. The discussions are ongoing. Please take note of that. Check it. Is your child, is somebody, modeling this thing to your child? Is there some kind of programming? You know what is programming? Now, this goes beyond modeling. So your child is in an environment that is programmed to do a risky behavior. Let me give you an example. In your house, your husband drinks, or maybe you drink, there's alcohol. You have programmed your child to drink, ma. I'm sorry. That's what you have done. You have programmed your child to drink. Even if you sit him down and call him and you share with him how, the Bible says this, the Bible, the Rechabite, the children of Rechabite, they were commanded not to touch wine. You're quoting all those scriptures. You're showing him liver of whose liver was dried up by alcohol, and there's alcohol in the house. It is programming, even if he has never seen you drink. That's why it's different from modeling. Modeling is you are drinking, so he starts drinking. Programming is the things for him to do that risky behavior is already set in place. What kind of friends do your children have? All your children's friends are in a particular class. Like Cream's children, all of them have their cars. They are 16, but they all drive. They drive fast. All of them drink. And your child is in that environment. There's a program for your child to take your car, your own car. There's a program. There is already a program for your child to take your car and go risk traveling or to go risk grooving. There is already a program. So you need to, this is where you need to start cutting down on, excesses. And like I always say, this is the time for you to seal up the traps. Some of us set traps for our children. You give them free wireless 24 hours a day, free access to phone, free access to the internet, free access to everybody, anybody. Just like entering a plane and just hovering around. No destination. You're not arriving, you're not landing. You're just going. You have programmed your child for that risky behavior. Yes, you have. That's the truth. So while you're shouting and upset and disappointed and embarrassed in what your child has done, look at yourself and check, what have I done to program him for this behavior? Check it. If it's not you, check his environment. Somebody or something must be programming him. It could even be on the internet. Yeah, it could be their friends, could be anything. So you want to go around and check for this. Okay. Next point is, don't take up this as your sole responsibility. Don't do it. Call your child and say, look, this is it. I think we need to come up with a solution. Now, when you guys are having this discussion, find out what is your child's, and please let me say it here. A lot of times you hear, someone even said it on Facebook and said, Auntie Atima, what you're saying about influencing and not controlling our children, we have been in a situation where you keep talking and talking. How again? What again should we do to influence them? This is it. Let me say it in a very simple way. A lot of times, we're not teaching in a way that our children can understand. I've said it before, but now this is the solution. Do you know your child's learning style? Do you know your teenager's learning style? So there are 3 basic ones, and they could be mixed. We have the visual learners. These are people that if you want to teach them something, after talking, please go and show them. They need to see something. It sticks. These are the people that watch things. It sticks. So teach them by showing them something, by creating a picture, trying to even, paint that picture in their minds, showing it to them physically. That lesson you're teaching will stick. Then we have the auditory learners. These are the ones that hear by listening. And please, not just listening to you. Your auditory learners are the ones that will be very good in a peer mentoring group or academy. They are the ones that will be good in a teens club or group. They are the ones that will be good with, so you can teach them by sending them to their mentors, sending them to maybe your accountability partners, to other trusted adults. So there are some people that I call trusted adults that I can expose my children to. They can teach my children the same lesson that I've been trying to teach. Sometimes you have heard your voice so much, and this is not to say that it's okay. Yeah, but so because they are teenagers, sometimes you need to just, allow other people speak to them. Not like, oh, come and sit down, let's have this speech. Not really like that, but just placing them around these people. I've heard mothers say that, I noticed my daughter was very close to this person. I just, went behind the scenes and I spoke to that person to, tell her this, tell her that, and the girl will listen because she trusts that person a lot. So allow the visual learner your auditory learner to learn from others, trusted and tested, not the ones that will just come and tell us stories of all the bad things they did as teenagers and now say, but don't be like me, oh. Be careful. Because sometimes when you have people like that that are overexposed and have now changed, your teenagers are like, okay, so me too, maybe I should also try it and then I'll also later change. And they don't really understand that it doesn't work that way. So please, then we have the kinesthetic learner. These are the ones that you have to teach them by doing something, by showing them. I want to believe that the boy who said he wanted to taste alcohol is a kinesthetic learner. Please, let me at this point say something. And I hope I won't be misquoted. I hope I'll not be misquoted. But if you want to just take it from me, if you want to know that this is inside life, this is the real life, if you can just take this from me, please. If what your child, your teenager is requesting for is not going to take his life, sometimes can you just, under your supervision, can you just let it happen? Yes, please. Your child wants to take cigarette. Yeah, cigarette. Okay now. Call somebody. If you cannot smoke, call somebody, say, look at it. The moment you do this, let him just, let him touch it, let him hold it. And see that there's nothing in this thing. Because this boy who took cigarettes, who asked his mom, he wanted to know how it feels, and the mom said, the mom beat him. And 5 years later, he's now an addict. He could have gone to his friends, or his friends might have been showing him. And then he came to mom, and then mom says, no, you can't touch, you can't. And then even hit him and did not teach him. The friends just say, take, guys, see, now so this is how they hold it. Put it here, do like this. And then he's like, oh, good. Even if he coughs the first time, he would want to continue. So that guy is probably a kinesthetic learner. Other things maybe going to the club with them or with a trusted adult, it's not killing anybody. I told my children, I say, if you feel like going to club, when you go and they put cigarette all over your body, and the girls take their bumble and rub on you, and this one presses your body here and presses. When they say go to club again, you will not go. They say, hey, mom, is that how I say that is how it is. You think a club is like church or like a comedy live show? A club is for rough people, so expect anything. You will perceive alcohol so much that you want to throw. You will hear music that your eardrums will almost burst. Sure, you want to go to club? No problem. That is how the club is. Like, So if you have a kinesthetic learner and you are telling him these things, you even show him, he might still not understand until he goes there. And somebody uses the high heel to press him, and another person not mistakenly just blows the thing on him. He will say it's not going there again. When he takes the thing and he coughs, he will not want to take it again. But this should not be done for things like tattoo. Once you do a tattoo, it's on your skin. You cannot reverse it. Please don't go and do kinesthetic learning with that one. But if you can see someone, you can show them someone who has done it, or you can, let them talk with someone who has actually done it, and they can see it and touch it and say, really, is this how this thing was? They can better relate with it. Don't do practicals for drugs. That one, I know someone, a friend of ours, when we were growing up, the first sniff of drug, he landed in a psychiatric clinic. So those ones that are life-threatening, sex, there's no two way. You cannot do practicals with those ones. But other things, your child says she wants to come and put this thing in the tongue, earring. Put it on your second ear first. When you feel the pain, nobody will tell you. Nobody will tell you. Some of them are just wishing. By the time you even bring the instrument, by the time you bring the instruments to them, they will run away. Okay, so as I prepare to round up, someone is already asking a question. Please, Auntie Bimbo, please just hold your thought. I love this question about nails. So the next one is teach them preventive skills. Okay, help them. Tell them that, okay, can you hear me? It's freezing again. Hello? Can you hear me, please? Okay. Okay. Sorry about that. I don't know. It just keeps freezing. So, prepare when you find out that your child has been involved in risky behavior. Tell him that, look, we need to solve this problem together. What do you think we should do? Where do you think the problem is from? Why did you do this thing? Was it a set of friends? Okay, help them. Don't just tell them, change your friends. I've been warning you, change your friends. He doesn't know how to leave that circle. Help him, help her. So if you need to change your friends, if you need to change their school, like I said, if you need to reprogram, if you need to reprogram your home, if you need to check for these things that are beckoning to them so passionately, do something about it. Do everything that you can. Have that sex conversation. Is part of preparing them. Just this part of the solution. Pump, stuff, fill their knowledge tank. Please, fill their knowledge tank. It could be that they are lacking on some information. So fill their knowledge tank. Use the opportunity and connect other risky behavior. So say, sweetheart, the problem or the challenge with you going to a club is that from clubbing, you can get involved in blink drinking. From blink drinking, you and your friends can go drinking and driving, speed driving. From there, you can now have sex. So one risky behavior now leads to like 4 other risky behaviors and can cause multiple self-harm. Which child will you sell this to that the child will now be bold and just go and do this risky behavior? Which one? Sometimes the issues are not painted so clearly in white and black for them to plainly see. Remember that teenagers are still growing, so they're not seeing these pictures like you are seeing them very clearly. So try to make it as clear and as plain as possible. Finally, this is a good time. This is a very good time to reinforce your family values. This is a time to tell them that you can't be doing this because your friends are doing it. No, that's not a good reason. Of course, I know you want to, but sorry, darling, we have a family value to live by. So, because some children will tell you, Mommy, show me where the Bible says that we should not smoke or that we should not drive with speed when we are drinking. Is it in the Bible? No. Funny enough, it's not there. Even drugs, as it were, it's just that we use scriptures like, be high in the Holy Ghost and all that, but you can't see drugs, tramadol, you cannot see it in the Bible. And some children, they are that bold. They'll say, can you point at it, Mom? Let me see it. So you just need to go through the way of family values, which is, we stand for excellence, we stand for integrity, we stand for doing things that will please God. If your family value is pleasing God or godliness, that means like God. This action is not like God. When you do it, do you feel close to God? That's enough for him to understand that it's not your core value. Everybody's doing tattoo. You cannot do tattoo. Sorry, darling, because it's going to, it's going to be going against us. So if we're a family and you want to do, because some of them might say, what if I do it in a place like in my back that nobody is seeing? So ask him or her, so can I do it? Can dad do it? Can everybody? Because we're a family. We're all standing for this. So one person does it, then everybody can. So we're building a media plan in my home, and one of the plan one of the plan is that at a certain time at night, we all keep our phones in one place. Nobody goes to bed with their phones. Nobody's exempted. Plus my pastor husband, yes, he drops his own. I've told him already. I said, honey, start getting ready. You drop your phone. I will drop I'm the one that will be most hit. But my husband is like, I don't mind. But I am the one that is most hit because I'm the one that is clinging to my phone. But I cannot exempt myself. Family value. Simple. So highlight it. Tell them to, set up plans not to fall into these risky behaviors. Help them with security apps, update those things. Don't say all these people that are updating their teenagers, that are securing it, that are putting controls, all of them, they don't trust their children. This is not about trust, this is about temptation. This is about setting a trap for your children. Please minimize it. Okay, tell them how to avoid, maybe like I was talking with the teenagers at the academy, and some of them were saying, what if we go to our cousins' houses and our cousins are involved in these things? What do we do? Remember, their cousins are their family members, so you need to help them set a plan. I know a friend that doesn't take her children to a certain family member's house. They don't go. She would go. She said, me, I'll go. My husband will go, but my children will not come here. So help them. Don't just say go. When you go, resist it. After all the training I've trained you, resist it. Just say no and let your no be no. It's not enough. Help them. These children need our help, please. Finally, promise them that you continue to have these discussions with them. Yes, promise them. Tell them that, look, you can always come to mom. Okay, it doesn't matter how far you've gone. It doesn't matter what it is, that you have done that I have not found out. Just let them just know that you are always there for them and that you'll be willing to help them. So I'm done. And I saw a question, very interesting question. So Auntie Mimbo says, please, everybody's answering this class. Auntie Mimbo says, what if your preteen wants to be painting her nails and you don't want her to? How old is your preteen? And why don't you want her to? So we have had these discussions at my group, the Responsible Parents group on WhatsApp. It was an argument that lasted for like 48 hours. It was a very serious argument. We had people saying, no, why? What is wrong with children of these days? Some of these things, we do them and we push our children away for life. Now, this is my honest counsel, and this is based on new knowledge. There was a year I cut off my daughter's knee. I cut everything off, as in I use scissors, everything, because of this kind of thing I'm saying. I was not prepared. I didn't know that at her young age she would want to fix nails, she would go fixing them. I didn't know. I was not prepared. I didn't know what to do. So I just handled it in the way that I could. And it was terrible because it made me and her have issues for months. We disconnected almost from the roots because of a simple thing like nails. I know better now and I know how to handle it. So what I would say for a preteen, allow her, bring the nail polish and paint the natural one, the plain one. You don't want her to. Why don't you want her to? Is it because you don't do? So some of us think that, okay, so a friend of mine was saying something. She said, I love short things. She can dress on shorts to almost anywhere, but her daughter loves long things. For some people, it's the other way around. For me, I would not wear a skirt that is above my knee. My skirt, of course, Mama Purity, I'm very serious about it. It's my life. My purity lifestyle. I would wear my skirt under my knees. But my daughters want to wear short things. And so we started having the discussions. You can't wear the short things here. You can't wear it here. They like shirts. Okay, girls naturally, many of them are like that. So we're already having the discussions on where to wear it and why and how and all that. You cannot just say because I say so. You're going to make her want to do it when you say because I don't want you to, because I don't think it's right, because I think you're going to wear fire. She will not understand. Some of us don't make our hair. Some of us are on natural hair, but our children love long hair. Should I tell you about the issue I had with my daughter because of long hair? Oh, long hair, colored hair. We have had all these issues. But now, on her own, she'll say, okay, mom, so I don't want to fix blonde because I'm dark and blonde will not suit me. So even when all her friends were doing it, she was the only one that did a tweak with her own hair by herself. Meanwhile, I hate colored hair. Oh, I hate it. But if I came with that angle, she'll be like, but it's not about you. It's about me. It's me and what I want. So please go to have this talk with her. Ask her why does she want it. Not just everything that we have shared. And then if she's still insisting, tell her that okay, for now, what you are permitted to do is the plain one, the transparent one. You cannot fix colored nails because you're not old enough. Maybe after secondary school, give her a time. Tell her a time when she can start painting the nails. Please don't leave her without a promise. Leave her with something to look forward to. It's a technique that works for teenagers. So my children know that you're not going to have sex before marriage, but you should. So if you really want to have this sex, then just wait until you're married, and then you'll soon be married. So we talk about marriage a lot in my home. Yeah. And it's not because I don't want them to do other things in life, but I just want them to know that okay, so this thing, okay, is the better alternative. We call it swap, we call it the swap theory. They need to be swapping this behavior with another one, or they need to be looking forward to it. Of course, there are exceptions. They cannot be looking forward to a time when they fix tattoos. They cannot be looking forward to a time when they're going to do drugs. No. We're just talking about some of the things that are inappropriate, age appropriate behaviors. So your girl wants to just, fix a hair that is coming under her butt. She can do it, but she can't do it now. So you just need to communicate to her and say, okay, this is a time when you can do it. I have them at home, but rarely used. Okay, so you've given her a timeline, but for now, to satisfy her curiosity, please just let her use the transparent one. And this thing is relative. I know someone that uses her own hands to paint her daughter's nails. Her daughter, from as young as 5 years, her daughter was already, but light pink, very light, mild colors. It's just a thing. My daughter is 10. She has painted her nails like once or twice. Of course, I was like, what's that? I didn't make a feud. I was like, what is this one? Look at the way it looks. It's not even so beautiful. If it was lighter, it should have been, so you try to pitch it. Okay? You try to say, you can even do the two. Paint all red, paint on fingers all red, paint on fingers all maybe very light pink. I say, which one is better? This one makes you look older than your age, and then you now look like old mama. That's why I say 18 more must be a drama queen. You have to be an actress. You have to have drama. Instead of raining thunder and brimstone, just okay, you select it. Which one do you prefer? You say I like this one. You will not pick that other wild looking one. I know it. I know some teenagers that makeup is another thing. They will make up very thick, very heavy. I said, this your makeup is fine, but it's too heavy. So this is a time to teach your children how to be moderate, especially the girls. The boys have their own, theirs is crazy, crazy haircuts, maybe not too many things, but crazy haircut, wanting to drink and all that. So I know someone who took his son and said, taste alcohol. He had not even asked. Taste it. My son, taste it so that when your friends come and start telling you, hey, alcohol, man, if you know they drink, be man, and then the child will start feeling like he's missing out or something. You just be like, that thing is bitter. My husband shared with me how he didn't get involved in drink drinking when he was growing up as a teenager. His friends set him up. Okay, they went out and they just gave him a wine. It was a bottle of wine. He thought it was just regular wine. He didn't know it had alcohol content. So he went home and slept and slept and slept, and then he slept abnormally. And then he was like, no, something must have been in what I drank. He went back to the friend's house, checked it, and so he was like, you did this. He said from that day he vowed, I won't take anything, because he hated the fact that he lost control of himself. My husband has never taken alcohol since that. Yeah, in fact, I didn't even know that day was the first day he was sharing how he didn't ever take alcohol. I've never seen him. And it wasn't even because of born again or no born again. It was just a personal resolution. So we need to get our children to that point where they by themselves say, I am not doing this. I won't do this. And is it going to be automatic? No, it's going to take time. You have about 6 years, so say from 10 years, from 9, 8, 9, up until they're 18, to have this back and forth. Just relax, calm down, and enjoy it. That's it. Any other questions before we call it a day? It has been an awesome time preparing for this session and actually handling it. Please, let me just say here before we go that we are done with the July session of the Responsible Teens Academy. We're entering August. If you're interested in joining the August edition, please send me a DM. You know how to find me on Facebook, here on YouTube, and on Instagram as well, Etima Ume. You can also send me a message, 0809 7151511. And please watch out. I'm preparing to launch a course on tech and porn education. All your teenager needs to know about the world of tech and the internet. Very interesting course. Very, very interesting. It's been very enlightening for me and my team as we've been working on it. So in the absence of any question, thank you, Bimbo, for being with me. Thank you, Chi. My young people are here. Thank you, Oluwa, Mrs. Toyin Adeni. Sorry, Mrs. Toyin Adeni. Thank you. How is my son? Thank you. Okay, I've said thank you to Bimbo. Thank you, Miracle. Thank you, Ruth. Hello, sis. How are you doing? Thank you, Ayomide Samuel. I appreciate every one of you. Thank you, Lizzie. Thank you, Mind BB. Thank you so much. Thank you, Lizzie. God bless you. So until we have our free webinar soon, I believe, have a wonderful night, a great weekend, and God bless you.